Hello, I'm Nathaniel Reed,
I'm Rebecca Stead.
and in this video we're going to be explaining our game, Get It Right, which is a pun on right triangles, because in this lesson students learn a bit about the Pythagorean theorem. So that takes us to our learning objectives. The main Indiana Standard kind of academic objective was for students to be able to use and apply the Pythagorean theorem. The objective related to digital citizenship had to do with information literacy, and the objective with that was for students to be able to learn how to find a resource online and look at it and decide whether or not it's an accurate resource. So now we're going to teach a little bit about how to play the game. So this is our game, Get It Right. Up here in the top corner we have the rules for the game. Here are different resources for the students to use as they play the game. The first being the Pythagorean theorem resource. So they scan this QR code and it takes them to a website that shows them how to use the Pythagorean theorem in different scenarios. This one takes them to a website on information literacy. It helps them to look at resources and determine whether or not these are reliable resources, and they'll actually have experience using this in the game. And finally, we have a die simulator. So the students go to the website, and it just shows them a picture of a die, and they click on it, and it shows the number of spaces they should move. So that takes us to the start of the game. Students start right here. You can have 2 to 4 players, and they start on this space, and they roll their number, and they move, and they take turns going. So there's different colored spaces. If they land on an orange space, it's kind of like a free space. And when they land on the free space, nothing happens. They move on to the next turn, and they just stay there. If they land on a green, pink, or blue space, they draw a card from the pile. So, example of a card. So there'll be multiple cards in this deck. So this one's blue, it'll go in the blue pile, and they'll draw a blue card, and then they have to answer the question on the blue card. Each pile has an I card, and Rebecca will explain that a little bit more, but the I card explains how to use each, because each color stands for a different kind of question. And then finally they reach the finish, which is purple, and that's in the middle, and they have to answer that question correctly to win the game. So now Rebecca is going to explain a little bit more about how the game works.
Okay, so as Nathaniel said, it's a dice game. So you're going to start over on the kite, as Nathaniel just pointed to it for me. And you're going to use the QR code to roll the dice. And you're going to use the Lego space. And I'm just going to go over here. So each space is its own color card. So like if you land on the green, you draw the green card. So I'm just going to go over the green cards real fast. Just go over just a little. Okay, so the green this is the green I card, which is the information card. So on the inside of the card, there's information about the green cards and how they're used. So the green cards are about information literacy. So students will scan the QR code that's on the very back of the card, and it'll take them to a website, and they need to determine whether it's reliable or unreliable and explain their reasoning using the skills that they've learned through the lesson. On the inside of the card, there is the answer. So students will be able to check to see if they got the answer right or wrong. If they do get it wrong, they have to move back one space. So they have to try again. So those are the green cards. All of them are QR codes. So now I'm going to move on to the blue cards. It's the same thing. All of these cards have iCards with information about them on the inside. So the blue cards are questions about Pythagoras.
Who was the mathematician that invented the Pythagorean theorem?
Yeah. So the questions are on the back, and students will look up information and find reliable resources to figure out the answer to the question, and then they will check their answer on the inside. So the pink cards, those are actual Pythagorean theorem problems. So a student will pick one. The question is on the back, as all the other ones are, and they have to show all their work. So they have to show all the steps. So they have to write like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and then they have to plug in a and b and c, and then show all their work with that. And then the answer and the work is on the inside of the card. So about these cards, if a student is caught like looking at the question before, looking at the answer before they actually try to answer the question, they will be docked 5 points off of the final grade, and they will have to start all over from at the kite. And so the last card is the finish card. It's that orange space that says finish. So this card it has two. One of them is the information, and then the other one is the problem. So to win the game, they have to answer this problem, this question, and turn it in. They have to show it to the teacher, and the teacher has to verify whether the problem is right or not. So, and if it's right, they win the game, if they're the first people to get it right. So that's basically the game, and how it goes over information literacy and digital citizenship, information literacy and Pythagorean theorem.
So now a little bit about why we think this game is beneficial. The structure of the game, by actually using the board game, makes it very experiential. So there's multiple elements. By using technology, students are able to learn both about information literacy and about Pythagorean theorem because of the QR codes. Also, each problem requires the students not to only learn information about things like information literacy and Pythagorean theorem, but actually apply it. So that's definitely an added level, being able to see the information, learn the information, and then actually apply the information. Plus, it's fun, so it makes easy learning easier.
And it gives plenty of practice for all of the skills that they need to learn. And I mean, it's really not about winning. It's really about having fun and learning. So.
Anything else said on that?
I don't think so. I think we got it all.
Okay, and then in our future classrooms, I'm a physics major, and so this is more geometry based, but physics definitely uses trigonometry and triangles a lot, so it could still definitely come in use, or even just the kind of board game design I could see myself doing, because it adds a level of fun to learning.
So
About your class?
So I'm planning on going into 10th grade geometry, so Pythagorean theorem is kind of up my alley here. So I can see how this game would work, just because it is Pythagorean. It's Pythagorean theorem based, and it would also teach digital citizenship in classrooms, in math classrooms, which I think is sometimes challenging. But yeah, I can see how it would work for my class as well, just because they have to do geometrical things. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks for watching.